Good morning, Faith Baptist Church, and welcome to our second episode of our Friday Faith Fill Up. Hopefully, it's an encouragement to you to get you through Friday, Saturday, and get you to Sunday morning. Reading in my Bible, I came across a verse that we're all really familiar with, but saw an Old Testament example and just wanted to share that with you. 1 John chapter 4 and verse number 4 tells us, "Ye are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world." It's a great truth for you and I to get a hold of the greatness of God, the sufficiency of God, and whatever our circumstance or our trial, whatever it is that we're dealing with, whatever battles it is that we're facing, that we can rest assured that God is greater than the trials of this world. And every time Satan throws his fiery darts at us, we know greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. What a good truth we have. But in the Old Testament, in 2 Chronicles chapter 32, we find one of the good kings, King Hezekiah of Judah, has really done a reformation in the nation of Judah and really set some things in order that needed to be and restored worship the way that it should have been. And after he did that, some discouragement came by way of the Assyrians. And Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, came and really threatened them and had the city under siege. And as he did that, Hezekiah's faith was steadfast. It was firm upon God because he understood who God was. And so he prepares the land, he fortifies the city and does some things to take care of that. And he encourages all of the men of war so that they understand what's in front of them, but also they understand who God is. In just a couple of verses I want to share with you. Verse number 7 of 2 Chronicles chapter 32, the Bible says, "Be strong and courageous, be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria, nor for all the multitude that is with him." And there was a great multitude, for there be more with us than with him. That multitude, we know, was at least 185,000 men. That they are there, they're surrounding the city, they're ready to attack. And he says to them that there be more with us than with them. Well, number-wise, that wasn't true. You couldn't see that to be true, but it's the next verse that you find the truth that he really used to encourage these people. Verse number 8 says, "With him is an arm of flesh, but with us is the Lord our God to help us and to fight our battles." And the people rested themselves upon the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. What a great example of 1 John chapter 4 and verse number 4 in the Old Testament, something that we can see as an example. We see that there is this encampment that was around Jerusalem, and there was a threat. There was a great threat against them, against God's people, but they were doing what they knew was the right thing. And so because of that, they had a confidence in God. And it was because a king would stand up and he would say, "Look around you. We outnumber them." There is no question about that. And it wasn't about them. It wasn't about their might. It wasn't about their ability, but it was about God, because he said to them, "The Lord our God, he will help us. He's going to be the one that's going to be there to help us, and that he will fight our battles." What an awesome truth that we have tied into 1 John 4:4, that he will fight our battles. Well, the long story short of this is that God did fight the battles, and while they were sleeping, 185,000 of the Assyrians would die. And those that were left would run home, and even Sennacherib himself would end up being killed by his own children. And there was a battle that was won here that is just amazing to see, that it had literally nothing to do with man and everything to do with God. It's as if God did what Hezekiah said that he would do, that he would fight our battles for us. Again, back in 1 John chapter 4 and verse number 4, we have to remember, "Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world." That's a promise we ought to be living in every single day. We have so many things that happen in our lives that we fret over and we get concerned over. I was just talking with one of the teachers about a text message from a parent, and how and I'm the worst of this, we can look into it and we can see more than is really there and become overwhelmed because of something that is there. And many times we can hear something or see something that we can say, this is going to be a battle, this is going to be intense, this is going to be frustrating, and this is going to be a struggle. But every time I've learned this, that if I can just step back and say, I've got to leave this battle to God and just let him fight it. Every single time that I have done that, I have watched God come and resolve a conflict, take care of an issue with a student, with a parent, with a church member, that in a way that we could identify it and know this had nothing to do with me. This was God taking care of something, God fighting the battles for us, because greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. The devil attacks, he throws his fiery darts. We've got to remember the spiritual battle that is there and let God fight the battles for us. We'll see you all on Sunday morning.